As we move on to the best damn storyline in WWE today, the Bloodline, Sami Uso, honorary Uso no more, hopefully, as he earned his stripes this past Saturday at Wargames as he hit his best friend Kevin Owens low, Haluva kicked his ass, and then Jay got the tag, hit the frog splash on KO to win Wargames for his team. And it's a celebration in the ring. Much love from Jimmy and Jay. Solo Sikoa is my favorite Uso right now because he just stands there stoically. He no-sells everything. He stands there stoically. He's an introvert like me. I respect it. And I'm kind of scared because he's too quiet. He's too statuesque. And I'm worried about somebody's future in the Bloodline. And I'm looking at Sami because we cannot forget what Paul Heyman told us months ago, and that Solo was not sent by Roman. He was sent by the elders, and they jumped over him to add Solo to the crew.
There are two long-running storylines going on in WWE right now, and one of them is Bray Wyatt, and the other one is the Bloodline, and one of them I love, and the other one, meh. This Bloodline story is so good. It is the best thing that they have done in a long time. Like, I'm trying to think of the best long term. I think somebody said Batista Triple H, their run up to Mania. This is like at that level of thoughtfulness and just like curated story in which every detail has been addressed. And I feel like this is like the Omega effect level of Vince McMahon not being around, is that main event stuff is not constantly getting tweaked and everybody's like all in on collaborating and everybody's ideas are being taken in. You know, it's like you got that hug with Solo Sikoa that they teased. You got people like talking about their history with each other in such a way that like it has reverence for everything that has come before, and nothing that has been brought out there is meant to make you feel like your intelligence has been insulted. And it is incredibly gratifying to watch. And I feel like the reward for everyone involved, both creatively in WWE and the fans, is just so staggering that you just want to keep this going. And so, like, even if you're getting a crumb, you got a crumb out of the story tonight on Raw. There was basically like break off a piece of the cookie that fell off from Survivor Series is what you got for tonight. And it was so much, and people wanted anything that they would give them. And that's what's going to get people to watch the show. That's what's going to get people invested. That's what's going to get people to go and pay tickets to go see this stuff live, is because they've managed to make you care about the little things. And when the little things matter, the big things matter.
It's all about subtlety. And it was so subtle on Monday. And it got even better when Kevin Owens came out. And I love how honest Kevin Owens was saying, listen, I've done a lot of shit to you, Sami, over the years. I've betrayed you. I turned on you when I first appeared on NXT at TakeOver. I betrayed you when you won your championship. I've done it there. I've done it here. I've done it everywhere. But this is your moment. I'm proud of you. People here respect your hustle and what you've done. You deserve this moment, but we're not friends anymore. I don't want to drive up and down the road with you. I don't want to team with you. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. We're done. And Sami's like, well, I agree. We're not friends. And at this point, I felt like I wanted to cry because we saw this breakup of a friendship 20 years in the making. But in the back of my mind, when you're so melancholy and you're so morose, I realize y'all are so getting back together really, really soon. And the buildup is beautiful. And I think someone mentioned this on Twitter recently, and that the Bloodline storyline really goes through seasons. Season 1, Uso becomes a right-hand man. Season 2, Jimmy falls in line. Season 3, Sami Zayn and Solo enters the fold and they level up as a strengthened bloodline. And now we're approaching season 4 of betrayal, backbiting, reunions, a fall of an empire. All of this is imminent. And it's been built up for 2 years, and there's so many layers to it. And Sami Zayn's addition to this crew has given the Bloodline new life that did not exist 6 months ago.
No, it did not. And 6 months ago, I think we were all trying to figure out who was going to be the people or the partnership or the tag team that was going to beat the Bloodline for the WWE tag team titles. And I don't know if anybody really had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on their radar all the way back then, but it was starting to brew a little bit. The people were like, you know what would be a really cool way to do that? But, this thing just got bigger. Now we have a lot of people speculating Kevin Owens at the Rumble, maybe Sami Zayn in Quebec for the Elimination Chamber. The Usos probably can't go to Canada, so there's some X factors there that come into play here, there, and everywhere. But what really does make sense is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning the tag team titles from the Usos at WrestleMania. And the seeds definitely have been planted with Kevin Owens is completely unselfish. You know what? Like, I get it. I've been a shithead. And like, I really do want the best for you. And if you think this is what's best, it's like, do it, like, go do it, but I don't want any part of you. And you could see it in Sammy's face when he was being told this, when the camera go back to it, like, you could see the little lump in his throat. You get a little choked up. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I don't want to ride with you anymore, man. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm done. And you're just like, you don't mean it, but you have to say it because you're backed into a corner and everything that you've worked for is going to go right out the window if you waver. But it just sucks. And you're just like, oh, every part of your being, like, we've all been there. We've all had to, like, say the things we didn't want to say in order, like, to do whatever. And you felt it, and it was tangible. And, like, these two paths are interminably tied together. There's never going to be an end of it. It's probably going to be one of them has to die, and then the other one is still tributing them in passing. That guy was going to work in WWE. There's no other way with these two. So as much as they want to tell us otherwise, these two are tied together, bonded.
It's so soapy. I love it. It's the best storyline in WWE today. It really is. And I go back to two
much better
reunions.
than the Bray Wyatt long form storytelling.
I knew you had a shot in there for him. I knew it was coming.
Oh, wait.
But it reminds me of two specific reunions from WWE and AEW, ironically enough. So I go back to the moment of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, aka Mox, when they reunited on Monday Night Raw 5 years ago. And we waited for weeks for the fist bump. And when it happened, we were all happy and we were elated. And then I go to AEW a year or so ago. It was Mox and Eddie Kingston. And if the bomb went off, Eddie sacrificed to cover his best friend after all they've been through, it would have been perfect, but the bomb didn't go off. And I think about what's going to happen to really push Kevin and Sami back together as best friends. We know it's going to be a bloodline betrayal, but the moment they reunite, the moment they hug it out, I think I'll cry.
There are going to be a few key beats, especially after Survivor Series. And make no mistake, that was an Angle Survivor Series match, Wargames match. It was to get to one destination, and it was that 5 minutes, the 2 minutes before the pin and the 3 minutes after. The entire 40 minutes was just for that. And if you can get the audience, hook, line, and sinker, to buy into all the small moments that they did with the handshake and the hug and the wistful look backs, and everybody's just like, this is amazing. And you've gotten there without like taking a hit whatsoever at that point. You've done some good work for yourselves in terms of the story. You have them invested. And there are definitely ways in which this story can go treacherously off the rails, but I've never been more confident in a main event angle seeing itself through with WWE as a grown adult than as I do right now.